This story begins on September 22nd, 2004, in Sydney, Australia, when 324 people boarded a plane to Los Angeles.
Hold the door!
Like any flight that day, this was comprised of strangers. Among them, a doctor and a fugitive, a soldier and a rock star, a con man and a lottery winner, an estranged couple, a single mother-to-be, and a man whose faith was lost. As Oceanic Flight 815 flew high over the ocean, this group of strangers
It's normal.
was about to be joined together.
Don't worry.
On a mysterious island,
This place is different.
far from home.
Pilot said we were over 1,000 miles off course.
They found themselves on a journey
It's a place where miracles happen.
they could never have imagined.
We're not alone.
They loved
Yes, I love him!
and lost. They fought
This is our island.
and died. And after 108 days,
I'm one of the survivors of Flight 815.
6 people found rescue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Oceanic 6.
But the island vanished, sending the friends left behind
What the hell's going on?
flashing through time.
We're either in the past or we're in the future.
3 years passed, and those who came home
We made a mistake.
were beckoned
I don't understand.
He wants us to come back.
to return,
Nigeria Airways Flight 316.
to undo their past,
There's a way for you to take it all back.
Think you can come here and do whatever the hell you want?
to alter their fate,
I'm not that made I
to change
I love you, James!
their
Are
destiny.
you with me on this?
It was their first night on the island.
First plane crash.
What gave it away?
You can always spot the newbies.
And the survivors of Oceanic 815
You'd think they would have come by now.
clung to hope for rescue.
I don't know your name.
I'm Kate.
Jack. Get me a blood gas and a C-spine. Get her up to ICU and keep her immobilized.
Jack Shepard was a spinal surgeon,
I'm gonna fix you.
consumed by his work.
I got it all. I mean, I had it!
His heart gave out. It's nobody's fault.
Jack was also driven by a relentless urge to prove himself to his father, Christian.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you stitching up the sack so this girl isn't paralyzed for the rest of her life.
But Jack would never get that opportunity, because his father died in Sydney.
That's him.
And it was up to Jack to bring the body home. On the island, the Oceanic survivors looked to Jack as their leader.
If we can't live together, we're gonna die alone.
You did a good thing, taking care of everybody and just giving us an account on.
Hey, girl.
Kate Austin grew up in Iowa, where her mother was married to an abusive man.
You're beautiful.
Then one night, Kate had enough.
Catherine, what did you do?
I took care of you, Mom.
She became a fugitive on the run for years,
Hey, Kate.
until she was apprehended in Australia. But when Oceanic 815 crashed on the island, Kate found a place to begin anew.
I want to tell you what I did.
Doesn't matter, Kate. We should all be able to start over.
On the island, Kate found herself drawn to 2 different men. Jack, the honorable leader, and Sawyer, the charming rogue.
Did you tell the doc about you and me?
No, but he knows.
Well, now that that's out of the way, a little afternoon delight.
Freckles, Wait! You need me to make you a mixtape?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Listen to Mommy.
James Ford was just a young boy when his father was swindled by a man named Sawyer.
Get under the bed. Don't make a sound.
James's father went into a rage and killed his wife just before he killed himself. James grew up to become a con man, taking the name of the man who'd conned his father, and his need for vengeance brought him to Australia, where he believed he'd found the man he sought.
Sawyer!
But he was wrong.
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
On the island, Sawyer often clashed with Jack.
You're just not looking at the big picture, Doc.
Still back to civilization. And where are you?
I'm in the wild.
And he had trouble getting along.
Break it up!
Stop! Found the transceiver, but it's not working. Can anybody help?
Yes. Let's trust this guy.
We're all in this together, man. Let's treat each other with a little respect.
Shut up, Lardo.
Chain-smoking jackass.
Some people have problems.
How do you know how to do all that?
I was a military communications officer.
Who are you, Air Force? Army?
The Republican Guard. Yes, sir.
Before the 815 crash, Saeed was a torturer in Iraq.
Guess you have a new skill set you can use.
But he was conflicted, and he fell in love with a woman he tortured.
This isn't a game, Nadia.
Yet you keep playing it, Sayed.
Saeed risked his life to give Nadia her freedom,
Take it.
then spent his life searching for her.
We know where she is.
When he cooperated with the CIA to overthrow a terrorist plot, he thought he'd finally found a way back to Nadia. But Oceanic 815 crashed on the island,
Did anybody say that?
and that presented its own set of challenges.
Terrific.
For this was not an ordinary island. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Dad?
And this group was a very long way from home.
Hey! We've got a bomb! A Finch!
The rescue party, it has to be. It's a distress call. It's been playing over and over for 16 years. Guys, where are we?
I know food's scarce, but your shirt?
When you find a laundromat, let me know.
For Hugo Reyes, crashing on the island carried its own special burden.
I think the plane crash might have been my fault.
Don't be daft. How could you possibly...
Hey, a lot of bad stuff used to happen whenever I was around.
And that makes tonight's Mega Lotto jackpot drawing for
Hugo played the lottery and won millions,
342.
but misfortune followed.
Kind of had some bad luck, too. Grandpa Tito died of a heart attack, and the first house about my mom burnt down.
And when his chicken franchise was destroyed by a meteor, he became convinced his winnings were a curse.
Welcome!
After the crash, Hugo tried to find the brighter side of the island.
Dudes, listen. If we're stuck here, then just surviving's not gonna cut it. We need some kind of relief, you know? We need some way that we can, have fun.
The island had a hold on all of the survivors. But one man was determined to uncover its deepest mystery.
Well, this is awkward.
John Locke met his biological father only to learn that he was being used.
You stole my kidney. You needed a father figure and I needed a kidney. Get over it.
When Locke confronted his father, it ended in tragedy. He was left shattered and paralyzed, but he eventually made his way to Australia with a dream of conquering the outback.
Just put me on the bus right now. I can do this.
No, you can't.
You don't know who you're dealing with. Don't ever tell me what I can't do, ever!
When Oceanic 815 crashed on the island, John Locke rose from the wreckage and discovered he could walk again. This gave him faith that they were on the island for a purpose.
You think we crashed on this place by coincidence? Each one of us was brought here for a reason.
And who brought us here, John?
The island.
But the survivors were not the first people drawn to the island. Teams of scientists from the Dharma Initiative came to the island in the 1970s. They built research stations in an attempt to understand the island's special properties.
Unique electromagnetic fluctuations.
One station was called the Swan, where a man named Desmond spent years entering a code into a computer to keep a massive amount of electromagnetic energy at bay. One day, Desmond neglected to enter the code and caused Oceanic Flight 815 to crash on the island. The island's original inhabitants were not pleased to have visitors.
Goodwin! You run, you can make that shore in an hour. Ethan, get up there to that fuselage. There may actually be survivors. Go!
This is not your island. This is our island.
The oceanic survivors would soon meet the island's original inhabitants. They would call these people the Others.
Hello, Jack.
Their leader was a man named Benjamin Linus, and he would do anything in his power to protect the island.
If any of them are stupid enough to get in your way, kill them. Hey, welcome to the island, man.
Ben Linus came to the island as a young boy when his father joined the Dharma Initiative, but it was not a pleasant experience.
I'm stuck here on this island with you.
Then one day, Ben met the Others.
Take me with you.
You're gonna have to be very patient.
So Ben waited, and when he became a young man,
Goodbye, Dad.
he did whatever it took to help the Others protect the island from outsiders like the Dharma Initiative.
You want us to go get his body?
No, leave him out there.
Ben joined the Others and rose to power as their leader. He raised a daughter and was a devoted servant to the island. But when John Locke arrived, Ben felt threatened by Locke's special communion with the island.
You've been here 80 days, John. I've been here my entire life. So how is it that you think you know this island better than I do?
Though not all of the Others regarded Locke as a threat.
When word got back here that there was a man with a broken spine on the plane who could suddenly walk again, well, people here began to get very excited.
Locke joined the Others and would soon become their new leader. But one of them wanted desperately to leave.
I want to go home.
That's not our agreement. You need to stay here until your work is finished.
We're here.
Juliet was a fertility specialist. She was recruited by the Others to find out why women on the island could not have children.
I think it happens at conception. There's nothing I can do about it, at least not here.
The situation appeared hopeless, so Juliet joined the oceanic survivors in hopes of finding a way home.
I want to know about your research. What happens to pregnant women?
They all die.
Sun and Jin were from Korea. And despite their very different backgrounds, they fell in love.
이 반지로 당신에게 서약합니다.
Their wedding was joyful, but their marriage soon darkened. And Sun planned an escape from Jin when the two were in Sydney. Life on the island brought them closer,
You're pregnant?
and they fell in love once again. But Sun's pregnancy put her in danger.
Your wife is very sick. If she doesn't get off this island, she will die.
But there was new hope for rescue. After nearly 90 days on the island, a freighter arrived off the coast. So Jack led his group to a radio tower to make a call for help.
I'm one of the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. Can you get a fix on our location?
Hell yeah, we can.
They believed they'd finally found a way home. A group from the freighter arrived by helicopter.
Who are you? I'm Daniel Faraday. I'm here to rescue you.
It's his story. Half the stuff he says goes way over my head, the other half goes way, way over.
Daniel Faraday was a physicist who devoted his life to the study of time travel. He came to the island with a science team and their pilot, Frank Lapidus. But rescuing the oceanic survivors was not the primary mission.
This is Charles Widmore, the man whose boat is parked offshore. What does he want? Charles Widmore wants to exploit this island, and he'll do everything in his power to possess it.
Charles Widmore was a wealthy and powerful man who at one time was the leader of the others.
I'll be seeing you, boy.
He was banished from the island and swore vengeance on Ben. Widmore's freighter also carried a team of mercenaries with orders to capture Ben.
Get your ass out here right now.
I'm not coming out of this house.
And in the process, Ben's daughter Alex was murdered.
So if you want to kill her, go ahead and do it.
So the survivors and the others made a deal and joined forces to defeat the mercenaries.
The helicopter is yours. You have a safe journey back.
So we can go off the island. That's it?
That's it.
You say something to tick you off, Freckles?
With Widmore's mercenaries defeated, the survivors were eager to leave the island, but John Locke chose to stay and had one request for Jack.
You have to lie about everything. It's the only way to protect it.
It's an island, John.
It's not an island. It's a place where miracles happen.
Let's go, Freckles. Seen enough of this rock.
Jack led a group to the freighter by chopper, as the science team shuttled others by boat. But the chopper was leaking fuel.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better for a few 100 pounds lighter! Hey!
So Sawyer acted quickly.
Sawyer!
And as he made his way back to the island,
There it is, the boat, I see it!
the chopper reached the freighter only to find it was rigged with explosives.
Chuck it up! It's Jen! Chuck it up! Turn around! We can't do it!
Sawyer reached the island,
What are you doing here?
believing his friends were safe.
That our boat?
It was.
Meanwhile, Locke began his new role as leader of the others.
Welcome home.
And Ben descended to a cavern deep below the Orchid Station to move the island and ensure that Charles Widmore would never find it again. But the act of moving the island created a profound side effect.
Anyone?
Where's the freighter? A minute ago, that boat was coughing black smoke. Now there's just nothing.
The oceanic survivors and the freighter scientists were taken on an extraordinary journey.
Whatever Ben Linus did down at the Orchid Station dislodged us.
Dislodged us from what?
Time.
They flashed through numerous time periods on the island.
What year is it right now?
It's 1954.
During one flash,
Jane.
Sawyer?
they reunited with Jin, who was very much alive. But the flashes were slowly killing them. Locke believed he knew how to save everyone left behind.
This is all happening because they left.
We have to go back to the Orchid.
Excuse me?
That's where all this started. Maybe it's where it'll all stop.
Hello, John. I'm here to help you the rest of the way.
Locke turned the same wheel Ben had turned,
Say hello to my son.
and the flashes stopped.
I think it's over. I think John did it.
Now what?
Now we wait for him to come back.
After John Locke turned the wheel, Sawyer and Juliet were left stranded in 1974. Along with Jin and Miles, they joined the Dharma Initiative on the island and soon became fixtures in the community.
Hey, boss.
Sawyer was named head of security. Juliet became a mechanic.
Something smells good.
And the two made a life together on the island.
I love you.
I love you too.
When When John Locke turned the wheel, he was transported to the Tunisian desert 3 years in the future to 2007. He soon received help from Charles Widmore.
All your friends who left the island, they've been back 3 years. They've gone back to their normal lives. I have to bring them back. And I'm going to do everything in my power to help you do that.
So Locke set out to convince his friends to come back to the island.
I'm not going back.
The answer is no.
No, I'm not going anywhere with you.
I only need to convince one, and if I can do that, the rest will come.
Locke's task was difficult, but it was about to become dangerous. Locke's misfortune gave him one more chance.
What are you doing here?
We have to go back.
Because it's our destiny. How many times are you going to say that to me? Goodbye, John.
Your father says hello.
What?
He said his name was Christian.
He died in Australia 3 years ago. I put him in the coffin. He's dead. You leave me alone. And you leave the rest of them alone.
Locke believed he had failed, but in his despair,
come on,
Ben Linus found an opportunity to get back to the island and assume his old role.
I know where we go. There's a woman here in Los Angeles, Eloise Hawking.
Eloise Hawking. You sure?
Yeah, why? Do you know her?
Yes, John. I know her. I'll miss you, John. I really will.
When Widmore's freighter was destroyed, the passengers on the chopper had only one place to go.
Torpedoes! Fly us back to the island!
They made their way back, just in time to see the island vanish.
Where the hell's the island?
It's gone.
That's it, people! We're out of fuel!
They survived the crash.
There's a boat.
And found rescue in the middle of the ocean. On board the search boat, Jack and Kate planned the next move.
What are we gonna do about Aaron?
I don't know.
You're so good with him. The last thing I ever thought I'd be good at is being a mum. You know, you should try it sometime.
Claire was 8 months pregnant at the time of the crash, and on her way to LA to give her baby up for adoption. She gave birth to Aaron on the island, and soon became close with Charlie.
Didn't want you to worry. I'll be fine, Claire.
But Charlie drowned trying to help his friends find rescue. And not long after, Claire went missing.
She just walked off in the middle of the night.
Leaving Kate to care for Aaron.
I think we should say he's mine. After everyone we've lost, I can't lose him too.
Kate, if we're gonna protect the people that we left behind, tomorrow morning I'm gonna have to convince everyone to lie. Are you with me?
I have always been with you.
And so they returned home. Jack, Kate, Hugo, Saeed, Sun, and Aaron would become known as the Oceanic Six. And to protect their friends left behind, they lied about their entire experience.
Is it possible there are any other survivors from the crash yet to be discovered?
Absolutely not.
The Oceanic Six tried to adjust to a normal life, but 3 years passed, and the memories of their friends left behind continued to haunt them.
Jack?
Jack began seeing visions of his dead father, and took flights over the Pacific, hoping the plane would crash on the island.
Hey, get another one of those, please.
How about a newspaper instead?
When he read the news of Locke's death, he was devastated. But in Jack's greatest despair, he formed a most unlikely alliance.
Hello, Jack. Did he tell you that I was off the island?
He told me that after I left the island, some very bad things happened. And he said that I had to come back.
All of you have to go back. We're gonna have to bring him too.
What is this place?
The Dharma Initiative called it the Lamppost.
Jack and Ben met with Eloise Hawking, who was once the leader of the others and the only person who knew how to get back to the island.
There's a commercial airliner flying from LA to Guam, Ajira Airways, Flight 316.
So that's it?
No, that's not all, Jack.
Eloise explained that Jack would need to bring the body of John Locke on the plane.
John is going to be a substitute of your father's.
You must be laughing your ass off, because this is even crazier than you are.
Rest in peace.
Kate had no intention of going back to the island.
Aaron?
But when she nearly lost Aaron,
Honey, is this your mommy?
she began to doubt her decision to be his mother.
Mrs. Littleton, I'm Kate Austin.
So Kate went to Claire's mother, who had no idea that Claire was still alive.
I told him that you're his grandmother, that you'll take care of him while I'm gone. Where are you going? I'm going back to find your daughter.
Welcome to Ajira Air. Thank you, sir.
And so those who came home were together once again, each returning to the island for very different reasons.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
This is your Captain Frank J. Lapidus. Welcome aboard.
Well, hello, Doc.
What are you doing here, Frank?
Well, I fly this around all the time. Sometimes I take the big birds into New Delhi. Listen, Saeed and Hurley. Wait a second. We're not going to Guam, are we?
High over the Pacific, a familiar feeling swept through the plane.
Dude, you might want to fasten your seatbelt.
I have the controls. Is that a runway? Massive instrument failure. We're pushing down. Mayday, mayday. This is Ajira 316. Brace for impact.
The Oceanic Six were back on the island,
Frank?
separated by two very different time periods.
What happened?
Sun landed with the plane in 2007.
Where'd they go?
They're gone.
Gone where?
How would I know?
But her friends found themselves back on the island 30 years earlier.
Jen? Dude, I can't believe it! Oh!
Easy on the ribs there, Kong.
Max, you missed that.
Missed you too, Hugo.
Sawyer?
Good to see you, Kate.
You too, James.
So what's up with you guys in the old Dharma jumpsuits?
We're in the Dharma Initiative. It's 1977.
What? What about everyone else from the plane? They could still be out there.
What do you mean, everyone else?
Saeed was on the plane too, Lapidus, and Sun.
As Jin began his search to find Sun, Sawyer created a cover story for the new arrivals.
Y'all gonna be the second batch of recruits coming in off a sub, pulling in the port right about now.
Everybody say Namaste.
Namaste.
30 years in the future, Sun began her search for Jin.
Hello,
Who the hell are you?
my name's Christian.
I'm looking for my husband.
I'm sorry, but you have a bit of a journey ahead of you.
Where did you get this? Who gave this to you?
He said his name was Christian. He said if I ever wanted to see my husband again, I had to wait here for John Locke.
But considering he's dead, we ain't holding our breath.
Well, you might want to look outside.
A man who looked like John Locke was on the island,
Morning.
Hello.
and he raised many questions.
Nobody remembers you being on the plane.
Well, I don't remember being on it either.
What do you remember?
I remember dying.
Hello, Ben.
God, you're alive.
Yes, I am.
Ben, I'd appreciate it if you'd join us. What, John, don't you trust me here with my former people? I'm not afraid of anything you can do anymore, Ben.
Ben quickly realized there was something very different about this man.
How is it that you know where you're going?
He was no longer plagued by fear and doubt,
I just know.
but more in touch with the power of the island than he'd ever been before.
I brought dinner. Hello, Richard. It's been a while.
Who's that man he's talking to?
His name is Richard Alpert. He's a kind of advisor.
Richard Alpert had lived on the island for a very long time, and he did not appear to age. He was a devoted servant to the island and its leaders.
I am the leader now, right?
Yes, John, that's right.
Good. Then I would like you to take me to Jacob. Can you do that?
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic.
We all answer to someone, John.
And who might that be?
His name is Jacob.
The man known as Jacob was a mystery to the island inhabitants.
Jacob wanted it done.
Jacob talks to me, John.
No one else has ever seen him.
That's right.
How convenient.
Jacob was a spiritual presence on the island for centuries, and had seen many people make their way to his home.
Take it you're here because of the ship. How did they find the island? You'll have to ask them when they get here. I don't have to ask. You brought them here. You're trying to prove me wrong, aren't you? You are wrong. Am I?
Jacob's optimism was in stark contrast to his nemesis.
They come, fight, they destroy, they corrupt. It always ends the same.
It only ends once. Anything that happens before that, it's just progress.
But the conflict with this man in black had rules which prevented them from harming one another.
Do you have any idea how badly I want to kill you?
Yes?
One of these days, we're going to find a loophole, my friend.
Well, when you do, I'll be right here.
Jacob did not confine himself to the island.
Excuse me, sir. Could you help me?
What are you looking for?
He made contact with some of the oceanic survivors at critical moments in their lives,
Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right.
though they had no idea who he was.
두 분의 사랑은 아주 특별한 것입니다.
One of these yours? I guess I just needed a little push.
Some of Jacob's visits occurred long before the oceanic passengers crashed on the island.
I'm very sorry about your mother and father, James. Be good, Katie.
And for others,
Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm only going a few blocks if you want to share.
he provided guidance that would eventually lead them back to the island.
Nigeria Airways Flight 316. It's your choice, Hugo.
But on the island, Jacob remained a mystery, and one man was very eager to find him.
For some time, you all have been accepting orders from a man named Jacob. Well, I'm going to go and see Jacob. And I'd like all of you to come with me.
I'm starting to think John Locke is going to be trouble. Why do you think I tried to kill him? I know we've had our differences in the past, John, but if you need Jacob to help you reunite your people, then I'll do whatever.
I'm not interested in being reunited with my people.
Then why are we going to Jacob?
So I can kill you.
But in order to kill Jacob, this man needed help.
Why do you want me to kill Jacob, John?
Because despite your loyal service to this island, you had to watch your own daughter gunned down right in front of you. And your reward, you were banished. And you did all this in the name of a man you've never even met. So the question is, Ben, why the hell wouldn't you want to kill Jacob?
But Jacob had friends aboard the Ajira flight.
What's in the box?
We need to show it to somebody.
What for?
So they'll know who they're up against.
Как себя чувствуете?
Ilana was a devoted follower of Jacob,
К вам кто-то пришел.
and he came to her at a critical time.
I'm here because I need your help. Will you help me, Alana?
Yes.
But the man who looked like Locke finally reached his destination.
Hello, Jacob.
You found your loophole?
Indeed I did. And you have no idea what I've gone through to be here.
Have you met before?
In a manner of speaking.
Outside, Ilana and her team arrived.
Don't shoot!
Richard, I'm Ilana. I have something you need to see.
I don't understand. If this is log, who's in there?
All the pieces were in place.
Do what I asked you to, Ben.
Leaving Ben face to face,
Benjamin,
with the island's spiritual leader.
whatever he's told you, I want you to understand one thing. You have a choice.
But Jacob had neglected Ben for far too long.
Oh, so now, after all this time, you've decided to stop ignoring me. Well.
What?
They're coming.
Let me get this straight. All this already happened.
Yes.
Then what am I going to say next?
I don't know.
Ha! Then your theory is wrong.
Hugo attempted to comprehend the complex laws of time travel, and along with Jack and Kate, he did his best to adjust to life in the Dharma Initiative of the 1970s.
Why don't we carpool? It'll help with global warming, which hasn't happened yet, so maybe we can prevent it.
Sawyer's cover story worked, and they were each assigned jobs within the community.
And don't forget to try the dipping sauces. They really bring out the ham.
But their arrival weighed heavily on Juliet, who knew Sawyer's history with Kate and believed her life with Sawyer would never be the same.
It's over, isn't it?
What's over?
Us. Playing house.
We got a hostile inside the perimeter.
As for Saeed, he was separated from his friends at the time of the flash, and his arrival aroused suspicion of the new recruits.
I guess we found Saeed.
But everything on the island
Hey, can I get a hand with this?
was about to change.
Dan. Hey, Miles. What the hell are you doing back here, Dan? This is what I'm doing back here.
Daniel Faraday endured the time flashes on the island with the rest of the oceanic survivors, and during a visit to the 1950s, he learned the others had a hydrogen bomb.
You need to take it off this platform and bury it.
When Faraday arrived in the 1970s, he focused his energies on finding a way to change the future. And with a new Dharma station under construction, the timing was perfect.
The Dharma folks at the Swan Works site, they're going to drill into the ground and accidentally tap into a massive pocket of energy. In order to contain it, they're going to have to cement the entire area in, like Chernobyl. They're going to spend the next 20 years keeping that energy at bay by pressing a button. A button that your friend Desmond will one day fail to push, and that will cause your plane to crash on this island. I think we can change that. And that hatch will never be built, and your plane will land just like it's supposed to.
And just how exactly do you plan on destroying this energy?
I'm gonna detonate a hydrogen bomb.
Jack was inspired.
Where's the bomb, Richard? Where is it?
And when Faraday was shot and killed, Jack assumed Faraday's mission.
We disappeared off that plane and ended up here because this is our destiny.
Jack convinced the others to take him to the bomb. If he could prevent Flight 815 from ever crashing, he could eliminate all the pain and suffering the survivors endured.
Well, now what?
Using Faraday's journal as a guide, Saeed extracted the core of the bomb. But there was only one way to get to the Swan site. And that was through the Dharma compound.
That's not good, right?
Which was already on high alert to hunt down Saeed and the rest of the new arrivals.
Hey!
With Jin and Hugo's help, Jack and Saeed escaped.
I don't know where we're going. The Swan site. Swan it is.
Jack, what's at the Swan? I think I found a way to get you back to your wife.
Don't worry, dude. Everything will be fine when Jack changes the future.
Time for me to go. Be careful. It's rigged to explode on impact.
Saeed, this is gonna work.
Jack was ready.
See you in Los Angeles.
But before he could finish what he started,
Jack?
he needed Kate on his side.
Nothing in my life has ever felt so right. I just need you to believe that.
Everyone shut down! Something's pulling the drill down!
We hit the pocket!
It's about to happen. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
Then let's go.
When Jack approached the Swan site, he was spotted by Dharma security. But help soon arrived.
Put your guns down! All right, you can come out now, Doc!
Most believe that what's done is done. You cannot change fate, no matter how hard you try. And those who challenge what is destined will always be met with disappointment.
This don't look like LAX.
For fate has a way of charting its own course.
Don't you leave me.
It's okay.
Don't you leave me. You hold on.
I love you.
No, you don't let go.
I love you, James.
No.
I love you so much.
No! No, don't let go! Juliet! No!
But before one surrenders to the hands of destiny, one might consider the power of the human spirit and the force that lies in one's own free will.
Come on! Come on! Come on, you son of a bitch!